At dawn, when the river opened its eyes, the Rusalki came with the spring. They wove flowers into circles, carrying wishes across the water. Where they danced, the meadow turned green and the flowers followed their steps. Their songs were said to calm the water and wake the life beneath it. To kind people, the river spirits brought clear water, healing, and luck. At night, they became moonlight on the lake and laughter in the reeds. With every step, they carried spring through the valley. And when they vanished, the river kept flowing, bright, alive, and full of spring. Before the harvest, the earth waited in silence. Then the first drop fell, and the soil remembered how to live. Mokosh was not thunder. She was the quiet force that made things grow. In every thread she wove work, memory, and human fate. Where her hand touched the ground, seeds became tomorrow's bread. She guarded the home, the field, the animals, and the hands that worked. For the Slavs, life was not only in the sky, it was in bread, milk, and soil. And when she vanished, the earth kept her gift, life woven into everything. When the earth grew too silent, the old people said Mokosh had turned her face away. They believed she ruled the thread of life. And when angered, she twisted it into knots. In her darker face, Mokosh was not comforting earth, but damp soil, bog water, and patient hunger. Where her hand passed, grain spoiled, roots drowned, and the promise of harvest turned back into decay. When her patience ended, rain became punishment, and the village learned how small it was beneath her storm. So they brought linen, bread, and herbs, hoping the old mother of the earth would soften her hand. And when the rain was over, they knew she had not gone, only returned beneath the wet earth. Beneath the roots of the world, the Slavs believed another power was waiting. To ancient people, wealth was not gold alone. It was cattle, land, water, and life. Deep underground, his rivers carried the hidden fortune of the earth. But Veles was not only darkness, he was magic, music, and transformation. In the old storm myth, he stole from the sky and pulled its gifts below. Then thunder answered, and the chase between sky and earth began. He was driven back beneath the roots, but the deep world was still his kingdom. And even after the storm, Veles remained, in roots, rivers, cattle, and hidden magic. When the first light touched the world, the Slavs saw more than sunrise. They saw Svarog. He was the heavenly smith, not a destroyer but a maker. From his forge came the gift that warmed homes, fed families, and lit the dark. He taught that fire was not only power, it was work, craft, and tomorrow's bread. Under his light, hands learned to shape the world instead of merely surviving it. Svarog was not only fire in the forge, he was order in the lives built around it. So they thanked him not with fear, but with bread, labor, and grateful hearts. And when the sun lowered, his gift remained, in every flame, every tool, and every hand that created. Before thunder had a name, the Slavs heard a god speaking in the storm. When an oath was broken, the sky itself was said to remember. Below the roots, wells carried away wealth, water, and order into the dark. Then Perun rose above the oak, the keeper of thunder and law. His lightning split the hill, and the hidden serpent was forced into the open. Across forests and rivers, thunder chased chaos back into the earth. When Perun struck true, rain returned, and the world breathed again. And from that day, every thunderclap carried his name, Perun. At noon, when the sun stood still, no one was supposed to work alone in the fields. But one reaper ignored the old warning, and something appeared between the wheat. Then the wind died, the wheat bent in circles, and he knew he was not facing a woman. Południca, the noon spirit, came for those who forgot the rules of the harvest. By the time the sun moved again, only his sickle remained in the grain. At dawn, when the village was still silent, one golden spark began to wake. From that living flame came Svarojic, the young fire of the Slavs. His warmth filled the hearth, baked the bread, and gathered families together. Across the fields, his light touched the crops and helped the new life grow. People honored him with songs, bread, honey, and the joy of shared fire. When night covered the village, his gentle flame guarded every home. And when the sun rose again, his fire remained in every hearth and every heart. On the shortest night of summer, people gathered to welcome light, love, and nature. They wove wreaths from flowers and herbs, carrying wishes into the night. Then the bonfires were lit, and the meadow filled with songs, dancing, and laughter. They leapt across the flames for luck, courage, and happy love. By the river, glowing wreaths drifted away, each one carrying a small secret of the heart. Fire met water, and the night became a celebration of joy, cleansing, and freedom. Some went into the forest to seek the legendary fern flower, said to bloom only once a year. And when dawn arrived, Cupola night ended the way it began, with beauty, closeness, and wonder. A man entered the forest after dusk, and the trees began to watch him. Every path led back to the same place. That was the first warning. In these woods, animals do not serve nature, they serve something older. Then the forest moved, and Leshy stepped out from between the trees. He was not a monster lost in the forest, he was the forest. By sunrise, only the lantern remained, and the trees were silent again.